get started soon. Graduates, please find your seats. Please be seated. Welcome! You did it, graduates. We are here to celebrate you. I am Amy Wildermuth. I am the Dean of the University of Pittsburgh School of Law, and I warmly welcome all of our amazing graduates and our distinguished guests to our law school commencement ceremony. I now ask the great Tomar Pearson Brown, a clinical associate professor of law, the director of the Health Law Clinic, and the inaugural Associate Dean of Equity and Inclusive Excellence, to come forward and officially welcome you to our ceremony today. Tomar.
Good morning. It is with great pleasure that I welcome each of you, our members of the Board of Visitors, our honored guests, our commencement speaker, Brian Cuban, our distinguished alumni, our faculty, our colleagues, and the members of the class of 2021. Welcome to your University of Pittsburgh School of Law commencement. What a joy it is to finally be together as the Pitt Law community as we celebrate the accomplishments of you, our graduates, even under these unique circumstances for a Pitt Law commencement, to be here at the Peterson Center rather than at Soldiers and Sailors, to be gathered together yet spaced apart, to be regarding one another with warmth and proud smiles, both in person and across the Zoom screen. The feelings that we share on this special day are not to be confused with the typical happiness that comes with the completion of the last exam, turning in that final paper, or from sending that farewell email. This feeling, friends, is the joy of resilience. This feeling is a joy that comes from having overcome obstacles. It's a joy that comes from success in spite of setback. It's a joy that comes from achievement, even though my circumstances have changed. This joy that we're feeling together right now is what makes today so special. And it is in this spirit that we open today's celebration of the 6 students who have completed certificate programs, the 7 students obtaining their MSL degree, the 8 scholars who have completed either an SJD or an LLM degree, and the 119 students who have satisfied the requirements necessary to receive their Juris Doctor degree. I think that marks some applause. This joyous occasion marks the end of an academic year that was wholly unlike any we have ever experienced before. This academic year started in the midst of a fiercely contested presidential election. It followed some of the largest protests for civil rights and social justice that the United States has seen in a generation. The COVID-19 pandemic forced the members of the class of 2021 to spend the final year of their law school journey completing their coursework through a mix of remote, hybrid, synchronous, and asynchronous classes. For much of the year, we haven't been able to convene at Barco for class or even for collegial conversation. And in the midst of it all, we witnessed the violence and insurrection at our nation's capital. The 2020-2021 school year contained multiple moments of holding our breath for the outcomes, the decisions, and the rulings that will shape the political contours of the world that you will soon enter as graduates of the University of Pittsburgh School of Law. In the face of uncertainty and never-before experienced challenges, you, dear graduates, the class of 2021, you leveled up. You volunteered as poll workers and poll watchers, ensuring that the primary mechanism of our democracy was justly carried out. You marched in solidarity with our brothers and sisters, seeking police accountability and accountability from our criminal justice system. You organized within communities, both here in Allegheny County and across the globe. You advanced access to justice by engaging in over 5,700 hours of pro bono service. You wrote the essays and edited the law reviews. You formed quarantine pods and Zoom study groups. You led the student body through turbulence and disagreement, yet forged a path for the next generation of student leaders to rise and struggle and succeed. You did these things even as some of you were the first in your family to go to law school. You did these things even though for some of you English was your second language. You did these things even as you pursued dual degrees in other parts of the university. You did these things while caring for loved ones and raising your children. Some of you even welcomed new babies into your family during your time at Pitt Law. Some of you lost loved ones, perhaps due to COVID or some other cause, and yet you persevered in your studies despite your grief. Some of you know that part of the reason why you've crossed the finish line to today is because the spirit of that loved one, the blessing of some ancestor, the prayers of some aunties and some grandmamas got you to this moment. Class of 2021, while the ultimate credit for this achievement is yours, you have not completed this journey alone. You have been accompanied by those individuals who supported you during those late nights of study, through the stress of exams, and in moments of uncertainty, whether they supported you in person or remotely. I encourage you to take this moment to thank the parents and grandparents, some of whom you guys haven't gotten to physically hug in over a year. Those family members, those brothers and sisters, those ride or die cheerleaders who supported you along your law school journey. Please, I encourage you to take this moment to acknowledge your law school support crew with a round of applause. To those of you who are celebrating the graduation of a loved one, know that your patience, support, and encouragement are an important part of what has made this graduation day possible for the class of 2021. Just as the graduates themselves have applauded you, know that the faculty, staff, and administration of the University of Pittsburgh School of Law applaud you as well. My colleagues and I have had the privilege of sharing our areas of legal expertise with today's graduates. The challenges of pandemic-style teaching were unable to diminish the passion and dedication of the Pitt Law faculty. We found unique and innovative ways to teach the skills and the substantive law essential to preparing you for the challenges and opportunities that lie ahead. Class of 2021, please join me in expressing appreciation for the teaching and mentorship of our Pitt Law faculty. Now, it's important to point out that the staff of Pitt Law have also poured into this moment. From that librarian who supported you in that research project, to the members of the admissions team who helped you find your way to Pitt Law, to the intrepid IT staff who supported you in your capacity to learn remotely, the assistance that you received from the professional development office to help you guys land that job, and the many others who played behind-the-scenes role to make today possible. Class of 2021, please join me in expressing appreciation for the dedication and commitment of the Pitt Law staff. Commencement marks the end of a long journey, characterized by intellectual challenges, hard work, the development of meaningful relationships, and by personal and professional growth. I encourage each of you, class of 2021, to relish this moment, this feeling, this joy. This ceremony is for you, in fitting honor of all you have accomplished during your time at Pitt Law and all you will accomplish in the years to come. Thank you and welcome.
Thank you, Dean Pearson Brown. I now welcome Professor Jerry Dickinson to introduce our next speaker.
Good morning, class of 2021, family and friends. My name is Jerry Dickinson, professor of law here at the University of Pittsburgh, and I have the pleasure and honor of introducing to you Amelia Rashid. Amelia is president of the University of Pittsburgh School of Law's class of 2021. While attending Pitt Law, Amelia served as the president of the Federalist Society, as class president of the Student Bar Association, and as a co-founder of the Middle Eastern Law Student Association. Amelia sat on both the diversity and wellness committees of the SBA. During law school, she has held positions as a legal intern for the Pennsylvania Liquor Control Board and as a law clerk for both a business law firm and a real estate litigation firm. Amelia plans to continue her work in litigation as well. Before attending Pitt Law, Amelia earned a BA in politics at St. Vincent College, where she was inducted into Pi Sigma Alpha and National Political Science Honor Society. And she was also named an Aurelius Scholar as well, and she swam the 200-meter butterfly for the college's swim team. And I, as a professor, had the wonderful honor of teaching Amelia in one of my upper-level constitutional law courses, and I can tell you this, I look forward to seeing where her legal career takes her in the future here. So, Amelia, come on up. Thank you so much.
Welcome, fellow graduates. I gotta do this. Hi, Mom. I did not tell her that I was speaking today, so this is a total surprise for her. And, maybe it's part of her Mother's Day gift. She's come a long way since we started law school. In our first year, I was so pumped to read her my appellate brief. She fell asleep before I was halfway done. Then in our 2L, about halfway through the year, I get a text from her, Amelia, what is a JD? She's come a long way, as I said. And through it all, she was checking in on me, making sure I was eating, cheering me on. This day isn't just for us. This day is shared with the people who helped us along the way. Whether that's parents, grandparents, brothers and sisters, those watching over us from heaven, or professors, roommates, or perhaps Dean Alley. This day is for them as much as it is for us, and today I would like to take a moment to thank them. I would like to also thank our alumni donors for making this day possible for us in the Pete to have an in-person commencement. I am so incredibly proud to be a part of this graduating class from Pitt Law. We are Pitt Law's last Section A, Section B, and Section C. We are Pitt Law's first class to start with Dean Amy and graduate with Dean Amy. And we are the class who spent half of our law school on Zoom. We are a class with resolve, a class with strength, a class prepared to enter this next chapter of our lives. Viktor E. Frankl, a famed psychiatrist and Holocaust survivor, says, "Everything can be taken from a man but one thing, the last of the human freedoms. To choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances, to choose one's own way." We walk out of this room new contributors to the legal profession. In some sense, we are free to choose careers with awesome power of knowledge of the law. Our knowledge of the law gives us tremendous power and responsibility, and I'm sure that we will face trials and tribulations and high victories along with crushing defeats. Frankl's words ring ever truer to us. As we face these tribulations, we must choose our attitude as we move forward. We have the freedom to choose our attitude in the diverse challenges awaiting us. We have a built skill set and have been given the tools, as this class is capable of great things. I eagerly await to see what you all have in store for our world. Congratulations, Pitt Law Class of 2021. Now it is my honor to introduce Professor Ashley. Professor Ashley is a professor of law at the University of Pittsburgh since 1989. He specializes in artificial intelligence, modeling, legal reasoning, cyberspace legal issues, and intellectual property. He received his Bachelor of Arts from Princeton, his Master's and PhD from the University of Massachusetts, and his JD from Harvard Law. In addition to this, Professor Ashley is also the parent of one of our graduating students today, Lex Ashley. So please take a moment to thank Professor Ashley.
Thank you, Amelia. It's my pleasure to introduce Danielle DeSpirito. Danielle is president of the University of Pittsburgh School of Law's Student Bar Association, the SBA. While attending Pitt Law, she served as the 2L class president, an executive board member of the Federalist Society, and a Pitt Law ambassador. Danielle actively participated on many committees, including the Dean of Students Search Committee, the Budget and Planning Committee, and the Petitions and Academic Standards Committee. She was also the representative of the ABA's Law Student Division and the Graduate and Professional Student Government Assembly Board. During law school, Danielle worked at a Pittsburgh law firm as a certified legal intern in the Pitt Law Family Law Clinic, as a volunteer with the Name Change Project, and as one of my research assistants. Before attending Pitt Law, Danielle earned a degree in politics with a minor in Spanish and Media and Communication Studies at Ursinus College. While at Ursinus, she was a 4-year starter on the field hockey team, and her senior year, when she was team captain, the team went on to the NCAA Final Four. Danielle?
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for that introduction, Professor Ashley. I wanted to start by saying thank you to our family, friends, and support system who are either here today or watching virtually. Without your love, constant support, and encouragement, we would not be here today. You will always be a part of us. Our lives, who we were when we started this journey, who we are in this moment, and who we will become after today have been shaped by our relationships with you. So thank you. To Pitt Law's administration, our lovely deans, our faculty, staff, alumni, and everyone else who made today possible, thank you. For all of us graduates to know that we could look up or around and see all of our family here after this last year and a half is just amazing. This is truly the best way to end this chapter. To the class of 2021, we did it. We are finally here. Congratulations. I also want to thank you all for allowing me to serve as the Student Bar Association president this last year. It is an experience I will truly never forget. Okay, so for why I'm actually up here. Today I have the pleasure of announcing the 2021 Robert T. Harper Excellence in Teaching Award. Each year, the graduating students select a person who they feel goes above and beyond their role as a professor. This year's recipient is one of the best that Pitt Law has to offer. Though I never had the opportunity to be personally taught by Professor Greer Donnelly, I have heard only incredible things. When I asked students to describe Professor Donnelly, I consistently heard that she is a compassionate and caring professor who truly invests her entire self into her students. She drives students to be their best selves by pushing them both academically and encouraging them to pursue their passions and interests. She also creates a classroom environment where stimulating conversations are engaged by all, allowing people to feel comfortable and heard. Professor Donnelly is currently an assistant professor of law here at Pitt Law. She is also the director of the Joint Degree Program in Law and Bioethics. Professor Donnelly focuses her teachings and scholarship on healthcare, bioethics, and FDA law, with a particular focus on reproductive rights. She has been published in numerous law reviews, bioethic journals, and was featured in popular media, including Atlantic News and BuzzFeed News. Her research has explored a broad range of healthcare issues, such as parental autonomy rights over prenatal end-of-life decision-making, the legal and medical necessity of abortion during pandemics, contraceptive equity in the Affordable Care Act, and regulations surrounding the consumption of pharmaceuticals in pregnant and lactating women. Please join me in congratulating Professor Greer Donnelly, this year's recipient of the Robert T. Harper Excellence in Teaching Award. I think it's going to be up on the video.
For the Robert T. Harper Excellence in Teaching Award. I was so incredibly touched that you selected me for this honor. It's not lost on me that we started at Pitt Law together. The first class I ever taught was Leg Reg to a bunch of you, and I probably walked into that room even more nervous than most of you were. Over the past 3 years, we have all experienced a lot of ups and downs together. First, we adjusted to life at Pitt Law. We made it through the stressors of first-year finals, and yes, your professors get stressed out around finals time too. And right when we were starting to feel like we got in our groove, we had to readjust to a new normal with online education. Some of you were in my bioethics class talking about public health law when the first community transmission of COVID case came out, and within a month, it seemed like our whole country had closed down. You showed so much resilience, flexibility, and grace when we all moved to online education. We also witnessed a great deal of injustice over the past 3 years, racial injustice, gender injustice, class injustice, and talked about how we can create a better world. This one is going to take a lot of time and a lot of work, but I feel really, really grateful that we have an excellent crop of young lawyers that are going out into the world to make it better today. Over the past 3 years, we have lost loved ones. Some of us learned for the first time what true grief felt like. Others lost opportunities and lost time with friends and family and felt grief over those experiences as well. But we also experienced a lot of joys. Some of my best and most cherished emails and phone calls I got over the past 3 years were when you told me that you got that amazing summer job, when you told me that your grade improved on the final after you struggled on the midterm, or if you did better in a class than you thought you were going to. When you told me that you found a community at Pitt Law, that you started a new relationship or even got engaged. There were a lot of things to celebrate in the past 3 years as well. I hope today is another day of great joy. You did something really, really hard and really challenging circumstances. So you should be so proud of yourselves. I know that I am incredibly proud of you. The advice I have for you graduating 3Ls is the same advice that I gave to you as 1Ls, which is practice kindness. You never know when an old classmate of yours 15 years from now is going to be the one that holds the keys to your future dream job. We all remember the jerks from law school, so you don't want to be a jerk. But also, so be kind to each other, but also remember to practice kindness to yourself. There's a feeling right now that the world is going back to normal, and that's wonderful. But for a lot of you, it's going to take time to readjust. Give yourself grace when things feel hard. They are still hard, right? Ask for help. Put up boundaries to protect your time and your mental health. Remember that you are going to feel like an idiot at various times over the next few years as you are learning to be a lawyer. I know I did. But you all have exciting careers ahead and even better lives, and I can't wait to hear all about them. So please, please keep in touch, and congratulations again. Thank you so much for selecting me for this honor. It was such a joy to teach you.
Thank you, Danielle and Amelia, and congratulations again to Professor Donnelly. You are a superstar. Now it's my great honor today to introduce our distinguished speaker, our alum and my friend, Brian Cuban. Brian earned his undergraduate degree at Pennsylvania State University and is a proud 1986 graduate of the University of Pittsburgh School of Law. He is now a Dallas-based attorney, author, and addiction recovery advocate. Brian has been in long-term recovery from alcohol, cocaine, and bulimia since April 2007. He has written 2 books, the first chronicling his firsthand experiences living with and recovering from 27 years of eating disorders and body dysmorphic disorder. His second, The Addicted Lawyer, Tales of the Bar, Booze, Blow, and Redemption, is a no-holds-barred look back at how addiction and other mental health issues impacted his career as a once successful lawyer and how he and others in the profession redefined their lives in recovery and found redemption. Brian has shared his powerful story and advice at law schools, including ours, colleges, universities, and conferences across the United States and Canada, and his insights regarding addiction and wellness have been quoted in the New York Times, the Huffington Post, CNN, and in online and print newspapers around the world. It is therefore my great honor and great delight to introduce to you this native son of Pittsburgh and proud Pitt Law alum, Brian Cuban.
Whoa, okay, there we go. When Dean Wildermuth bestowed this great honor upon me, I immediately went to Google and began furiously looking for commencement speeches. Because I'm used to telling my story and I'm used to speaking, but this is a commencement. And everything I found was rah-rah and a combination of Tony Robbins and Dale Carnegie with a little Oliver Wendell Holmes thrown in. And I thought to myself, Brian, wait a minute. That wasn't who you were. I was the guy who drank alone in his apartment out on Dithridge in Oakland so he could go to the bars afterwards and get drunker. I was the guy who showed up at class intoxicated. I was the guy who did my moot court intoxicated. I was the guy who was so ashamed of my mental health struggles during my 3 years of Pitt Law and told no one about it because I didn't think anyone would understand. And admittedly, this was a different time in the mid-'80s. Not my parents, not my brothers. I had no compassionate community in my mind who would support me. I never gave anyone the chance to support me. And because of that, I was so ashamed I didn't even bother going to my graduation. So for me, this is full circle. This is the first time I've worn these. I still have dreams of going to get my diploma, and the dean of the law school at that time pulling it back, going, psych, you didn't graduate. And I wake up going like this and sweating. I was that guy. I was the guy who became addicted to cocaine in 1987. I was the guy who failed the Texas bar exam 3 times, all related to drugs and alcohol, and using those instead of studying. I was the guy who showed up at court hearings under the influence of cocaine and alcohol. I was the guy who did cocaine and alcohol in the state courthouse, in the federal courthouse. You're all thinking, whoa, does this guy still have his license? Yes, I do, and it hasn't been suspended, but it wasn't for a lack of trying. And I say that tongue-in-cheek, but you can look in the back of any bar journal, and whether it's Pennsylvania or Texas, and the great majority of suspensions, reprimands, and disciplinary actions are going to correlate with drug and alcohol use. And I was no exception, I just never got caught. I was the guy arrested for DWI and went to jail. I was the guy who took 2 trips to a psychiatric hospital, the first after a near suicide attempt in 2005. I was still the guy who told no one until it was in everyone's face that I was in crisis. I was that guy. Who am I today? That's all you're thinking. Who is this guy? I'm the guy who is now 14 years in long-term recovery from eating disorders. Yes, guys do get eating disorders. From cocaine and alcohol addiction. And I'm the guy who still struggles with major depressive episodes, but no longer suffers alone. I'm the guy who finally understands the value of community and the value of having community and the compassionate community to achieve my recovery that occurred in 2007. And that recovery only occurred when, after a drug and alcohol-induced blackout, where my one-time girlfriend and now my wife, she stood by me, came in and found me with cocaine everywhere, alcohol everywhere, my second trips to a psychiatric facility. I was that guy. And the statistics tell us that, well, the fact situations may be different. Some of us in this classroom are pieces of that guy, whether female or male. Some of us in this graduating class will struggle with depression. Some of us in our graduating class will struggle with addiction, eating disorders. And some of us haven't told a soul. And some of us are living in the shame of thinking no one can understand, thinking we are totally alone with no community to help us. But you do have community. And when you go out into wherever your path takes you, whatever you do, understand that there are people who care about you. There are people who want to help you. Even up to this point, you haven't told anyone. And I know that happens because I get emails from law students quite often, and I'm the first person they've told of their struggle. And so when you go out, what I'd like you to do is think about who your compassionate community is. And if you don't think you have one, you do. Who are the people you can count on? Who are the people who can count on you? It's just as importantly when they're struggling. When you go out in the world and you go into law firms or hang out your solo or go into public service, it doesn't matter. Addiction and depression do not discriminate based on your chosen path in the law or not in the law, wherever it may be. Create that community. And here is one tool I want to leave you with that you can change a life when you go out into your careers. It is called the 2 Ask Rule. When you go out there and you see somebody who is struggling, you may think they are, you see something isn't right. Don't walk away thinking, I have my own things going on. I know you do, and I know we get caught up in our daily lives. Ask them how they're doing. It doesn't have to be accusatory. Say, how are you doing? How are you doing? 5 words. I hope I got the math right on that. In a few seconds. And then before that conversation breaks, let them know. Do you know if you need to talk, I'm there for you. And with that 2 Ask Rule, you have become a cog in the chain of mental health wellness, because they may say nothing at that time. They may say, I'm fine. Yeah, I'm great. Thank you for asking. But the next person who does it, or the next, they may finally say, yes, I'm struggling, and I've told no one, and I'm ready. And then it is incumbent upon us as part of that compassionate community and taking care of each other in our wonderful profession of law to be ready to help. The 2 Ask Rule, you become a cog in the chain of mental health wellness. And it may be 5 cogs down that somebody finally says they're ready to talk. They're ready to release the shame. They're ready to be vulnerable for the first time. Something our profession's not very good at, right? We're taught to take advantage of vulnerability in litigation and such, not to be ourselves, allow ourselves to be vulnerable. Use the 2 Ask Rule to be vulnerable. Allow yourself to be vulnerable. Take care of each other, because there will be struggles, whether it's yourselves, whether it's family, whether our friends. We all have the opportunity, using the one gift that we all have, the ability to empathize and utilize it to change one life. Don't be afraid to ask, how are you doing? Thank you, and congratulations to the class of 2021.
Thank you, Brian, for sharing your inspiring words and wisdom today. It is through your incredible generosity that we were able, a few years ago, to establish the Wellness Fund to support the betterment of our students' mental and physical health during law school and to prepare them for their careers. We have a video of what that effort has meant to our students in our community.
To me, wellness is the state where my physical, emotional, and health needs are all being met.
For me, wellness means spending time with my dog. I think that having a dog has been really beneficial for me because it forces me to take a break in the day, to get outside and go for a walk, enjoy some fresh air, and also to play a little.
At Pitt Law, as our students embark on the beginning of their law school career, a main focus for our law school is how can we support each student and make sure we can position each student for success.
I think one of the keys to success as a law student in terms of wellness is always maintaining perspective. The why am I here?
On the first day of civil procedure, Professor Wong told Section B that civil procedure would be like a seamless web. Well, I like to think of wellness the same way. It's not just our physical wellness, emotional wellness, or mental wellness, but rather the intermingling of all of the above.
Wellness and success are somewhat intertwined. Whether it's in law school or life in general, there will be struggles and tribulations. And how we persevere is dependent on how we choose to build our network of support and how we position ourselves to handle it.
Law students, we have no time, no energy, and are just constantly on the go. And it's easy to forget to take care of yourself. It's easy to forget that, eating healthy is important, taking, time to actually decompress and, do something fun for yourself.
This may be something different for each and every one of our students. Our goal at Pitt Law is to assist our students in cultivating all facets of wellness: emotional, intellectual, physical, social, environmental, financial, and spiritual wellness.
And there's a reason that wellness is emphasized so much at our law school, and it is because it is really important, and it is one of the most important life skills that we can impart to you before you enter into the profession.
It's not a goal, it's something I'm actively working towards at all times, and sometimes I'm more successful than others, but I still keep at it.
And never lose sight of that why. And what is it that I want to do with all of these things that I have now learned and am ready to go do?
For me, I like to take out time doing things that I enjoy, whether that be reading a book, watching Netflix, catching up with friends, or exercising. It's different based on my needs, but it has allowed me to focus on school when it was time to focus on school, knowing that I had something to look forward to at the end of the day or at the end of the week.
That you take some time for yourself, that you exercise, that you practice mindfulness, that those of you who are religiously inclined engage in your prayer, that you eat healthy, that you sleep well. And through that sense of balance, you could really become not only a healthier lawyer, but because you're a healthier lawyer, a better lawyer.
So Brian, I'm going to ask you to come forward. Because you, Brian, have enabled Pitt Law to continue to provide students the tools necessary to cope with the stressors of rigorous study and coursework, along with healthy strategies for long-term success in the profession, we wanted to find a fitting way to honor you. So today, it is my great honor to announce that we are officially renaming the Wellness Fund the Brian Cuban Wellness Fund. Thank you again, Brian, for all you've done for us and for the world on your life mission. I'm going to hug you.
Yes, thank you so much. I'm going to cry.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, now the moment you've waited for. We will now proceed to the commencement of the class of 2021. But before we do so, I know many of you in the audience will want to take photographs. But given our restrictions, we cannot have you leave your seats. We will be taking pictures of every graduate for you. Today, we will be presenting a degree of Doctorate of Juridical Sciences to the graduate of our doctoral program for foreign scholars. And we graduate our 26th class of Master of Laws candidates, lawyers from other countries who have engaged in an intense year of graduate study in the American legal system. Professor Ronald Brand will read the name first of our SJD graduate and then the names of our Masters of Law graduates. Next, Dean Emeritus Kevin Deasy will read the names of the 7 Master of Studies in Law candidates. The Master of Studies in Law degree program is for those interested in studying the law to acquire new skills and knowledge and to enhance their advanced careers in professions outside of the practice of law. We will then have Professor Jay Hornak, the director of the Human Resources Law Online Certificate Program, read the names of our certificate graduates joining us today. We currently have 3 online certificate programs: the HR Law Certificate, the Healthcare Compliance Certificate, and our newest, the International Business Law and Dispute Resolution Certificate. The certificates, which typically have cohorts of 20 to 25 students, are designed to deliver high-quality and focused content from experts in their fields. And last, but certainly not least, my 2 partners in all things, Vice Dean for Academic Affairs, Hamoudi, and Assistant Dean of Students, Allie Linsenmeyer, will read the names of the Juris Doctorate candidates. All of the graduates will proceed across the stage to be congratulated and to receive a certificate of membership in the law school's Alumni Association. I now would like to ask Professor Wasserman, one of our most distinguished professors, winner of multiple teaching awards and honors, and longtime supporter, steward, and shepherd of PLISSIF and all things public interest, to come forward. In honor of all she has done, PLISSIF has established the new Rhonda Wasserman Award that will honor excellence in leadership and fostering leadership in others. Professor Wasserman is retiring this year after 35 years at Pitt Law, so it is fitting for her to provide the official presentation of the degrees. Rhonda, will you come forward?
Will the candidates please rise? By virtue of the authority vested in me as a representative of the faculty of the University of Pittsburgh School of Law, and on their recommendation, I present to you the certificates of Human Resources Law and Healthcare Compliance, as well as the degrees of Master of Laws, Master of Studies in Law, Doctor of Juridical Science, and Juris Doctorate, which entitle you to all of the rights, privileges, and honors thereto appertaining. Mazel tov.
Okay, you may be seated unless you're standing up here. Thank you, Professor Wasserman. I congratulate you again, and I thank you for your many years of loving service to our law school. We will miss you. I now ask Professor Brand, Dean Deasy, and Professor Hornak to begin reading their degree and certificate candidate names.
Good morning. I'm very proud to be able to recognize some of the members of my cohort in the Human Resources Online program. First, Cindy Caldwell. Anna Standkey. Mark Hassel. Vicky DiDomenico.
Hi, Vicky.
Sorry, I'm getting to meet some of these people for the first time live. It's an all online program, so. Sharon Joyner. Jordan Ulrich. And Rachel E. Welsh. Thank you.
I'm grateful for this honor of being able to introduce our Master of Studies in Law class for 2021. To begin, and appearing on the screen as I understand it, Sonita Petrel. Patrick Bostick. Claire O'Brien. Kelsey Shore. Kimberly Diamond. Erica Fisher. Selena Marshall. The 2021 MSL class. Thank you.
This year we have one candidate who completed the SJD degree, the Doctor of Juridical Science, Suleiman Mohammed Al-Murawan. The 2021 Masters of Law class, LLM degree, Mashal Al-Kutami. Abdulrahman Al-Mashat. Rustam Akhmedov. Macarena Hernandez Cabezas. Ali Ibrahim. Congratulations. Taman Al-Sadat Madani. And Dunia Stanikzai, the LLM class of 2021.
We will now begin reading the names of the JD candidates.
Jocelyn Converse. Jennifer Cusack. Michael McCune. Luke Shammy. Nadia Brooks. Stephen Chappers. Braden English. Marie Lester. Olyas Majitov. Jacqueline McCarthy. Michaela Quinlan. Brenton Siege. Christopher Stevens. James Toomey. Iggy Wong. And Leanne Winkles. Olivia Adkins. Aaron Algren. Carl J. Anderson. Nicholas A. Andrews. Alexandra N. Ashley. Sean Ashoff. Jack Bailey. Michael C. Barber. Brianna Burr Bell. Carly Bellini. Matthew J. Borges. Keegan Boyle. Andrew David Calv. Kendra Campbell. Patrick Thomas Carlson. Emma Frances Carson. Chaitali Chanda. Elizabeth Ann Christopher. Bailey A. Corbin. Mark Cornyn. Emily Catherine Costantino. Austin James Crudell. Emily Davidson. Julie Daw. DeStefano. Thomas Michael DeLorenzo. Danielle Elizabeth DeSpirito. Tristan Alexander Dietrich. Patrick D. Donathan. Ian Eberly. Patrick J. Eckerd. Audrey Jillian Fox. Christina N. Fulponi. Charles Gallmeyer. Pranita Goville. Ari C. Glasser. Nicholas Green. Allison Gutierrez. Peyton Gutierrez. Trevor Hanlovich. Kenneth A. Held. Bradley T. Haney. Kimo A. Hoshing. Leah Hungerman. William Earl Hutchinson. Johanna E. Jones. I'm going to now pass the torch over to Dean Hammoudi.
Joshua Keswick. Cameron Cockler. Good. Andrew Colasar. Congratulations. James Lamarca. Congratulations. Jacob Murphy Landau. Luke Lockhart. Congratulations. Lauren Lupinski. Congratulations. Nicholas Allen Longinati. Jessica W. Lusamba. Congratulations. Congratulations. Jeffrey David Mack. Gian Manganti, excuse me. Gabrielle Christina Murata. Michael T. Mawimi. Lauren Inez McDevitt. Paul McDonald. Alexa McKinley. Brock A. Meaner. Congratulations. Hala Mozaffar. Hala Mozaffar. Nicholas Nixon. Yemi Turmari Olaya. Congratulations, Christian. Christian Bjorseth Olia. Did I have it Olia? Sorry about that. Alexa Ostoyich. Congratulations. Angel Otua. Jeffrey V. Paskey. Rebecca Charlotte Peters. Frank Petrini. Catherine R. Petrogallo. Sarah Elizabeth Planthaber. Mitchell George Powell. Justice Paulus. Sarah Chelsea Pybus. Congratulations. Jasmine D. Randolph Taylor. Amelia Salim Rashid. John M. Reber. Gabriella D. Reber. Kirsten Reinhold. Christian A. Roberts. Congratulations. Emily Gail Roderick. Cameron Roback. Jordan A. Ross. Coral Rushak. Gael Saker. Scott Samalovich. Jose Saplala. Luciana Rose Sena. Leah Mahan Sharp. C. She. Congratulations. Devin Thomas Slogenhop. Alexandra Kelly Smith. Congratulations. Morgan Smith. Michael Raymond Stevenson. Congratulations. Michael Storm. Allison Terrell. Congratulations. Carolyn Thompson. Alex Torres. Joshua Eli Turnbull. Corinne Updike. Tamra Van Housen. Natalia Vignovich. John Wazorek. How'd I do? George Williams. Michael James Wise. Stacy Yarrington. Alyssa Marie Zatola. Timothy Zuba Zarata. Friends, distinguished guests, family, I give you the class of 2021.
Thank you so much, everyone. And at this time, we are very fortunate. I'm going to have you all take a seat. We are very fortunate to have with us Elizabeth Hughes, who joins us today in her capacity as the president of the University of Pittsburgh Law Alumni Association. Elizabeth is a 2004 graduate of the University of Pittsburgh School of Law and currently serves as president of the Allegheny County Bar Association. She is also an associate counsel at UPMC and provides legal support and direction to Children's Hospital of Pittsburgh and other UPMC hospitals. Leadership comes naturally to Elizabeth as she was president of her graduating class back in 2004. So this is a repeat performance for her at a commencement. Please join me in welcoming Elizabeth Hughes.
Greetings and congratulations. Give yourself another round of applause. My name is Elizabeth Hughes, and I am the president of the University of Pittsburgh Law Alumni Association, or as we affectionately call it, UPLA. I'm also president of the Allegheny County Bar Association, as Dean Amy stated. To Dean Amy Wildermuth, to the distinguished Pitt Law faculty, to our keynote speaker and fellow Pitt Law alum, Brian Cuban, to the distinguished Pitt Law alumnus, and all the graduates here today who have made it to the finish line, and to your friends and families in attendance today, I bring greetings on behalf of UPLA. As I stand here today, it is with a sense of deja vu as I recall 17 years ago, standing on the stage as Soldiers and Sailors, addressing my classmates and all of those in attendance as the 2004 class president. Who would have known that years later I would be addressing the class of 2021, one of the most resilient and accomplished group of graduates Pitt Law has ever produced. You have persevered through the most challenging of times in a situation that is already daunting even without the complications of a global pandemic. On my graduation day, I recall this sense of accomplishment, the anticipation, and the kernel of apprehension I felt that day, knowing that this chapter was closing and another one was about to begin. I'm honored to be with you here today to celebrate your accomplishments, to delight in your anticipation, and to alleviate your feelings of apprehension. As you embark on this journey and move forward in your legal career, I want to remind you that UPLA is here to serve you. Our Pitt Law alumni span the globe. We are lawyers, judges, entrepreneurs, educators, and are employed in careers from traditional legal work to unique and varied endeavors. Whether you remain local or travel the world, chances are you will connect with one of many of the other Pitt Law graduates worldwide. Immediately upon your graduation today, which you've already walked across the stage, so you're all officially now members of the University of Pittsburgh Law Alumni Association. UPLA was established in 1930 with a mission to support and enhance the interests of the law school, its students, faculty, administration, and alumni. Our Board of Governors meets monthly and remains actively engaged with the dean, faculty, and the students. Some of you sitting here today might be a recipient of our Alumni Scholarship awarded annually to 3 exceptional students. I've remained actively involved in UPLA since I walked across the stage 17 years ago, just like you did today. The Law Alumni Association has served as a supportive constant in my career and has provided not only numerous professional opportunities, but the chance to meet many people who I call friend as well as colleague. I've been the beneficiary of guidance and wisdom from mentors that I met through UPLA. I continue to receive valuable encouragement from these mentors, and I'm inspired through the Law Alumni Association to provide the same encouragement and guidance to Pitt Law students and alumni. The Law Alumni Association has 8 committees on which any alum may serve, including a dynamic Young Alumni Committee. I reach out today to welcome each and every one of you to become a part of the UPLA family and find your place among our ranks. I cannot express to you how rewarding it has been to assist students and alumni alike through my involvement in the University of Pittsburgh Law Alumni Association. For more information, you can visit the Law Alumni Association portion of the Pitt Law website, or feel free to reach out to me directly with questions about how to get involved with UPLA. Once again, congratulations, class of 2021, and hail to Pitt. Thank you.
Thank you, Elizabeth. And thank you all again for joining us in this celebration of incredible achievement, particularly after what has been a very difficult past 14 months. As you leave today, class of 2021, there are no more hurdles. We will not ask you to recite the venue rules for federal court, provide the exceptions to the hearsay rule, or explain the Dormant Commerce Clause. By the way, who knew there was so much power in something called dormant? Instead, we will leave that for your bar exam preparation, which Professor Weibel would like me to remind you begins bright and early on Monday, May 17th. So yes, you can take a few days off, but just a few. When we began this journey together 3 years ago, I asked all of you precisely because of your differences to listen deeply to one another, to fundamentally and genuinely accord full respect to one another, and to learn from one another. I reminded you that we all make mistakes, with no exceptions, including the dean, and knowing that, to learn to apologize and to ask for forgiveness and help, to start from a place of grace and kindness with one another, especially those who you think you have nothing in common with, and to make each other and yourselves better every day. You have done everything we have asked of you and even more. You have grown and taken flight, and along the way, you have become colleagues and friends who will stick together and lean on each other in good times and in bad. Your minds, and perhaps more importantly, your hearts, have been forever changed, and you will always be a special group. So as you go forward today, remember always how hard you have worked in what have been truly extraordinary circumstances. When things get tough and people begin to talking about walking uphill in the snow both to and from school, just remind yourself, you went to law school in a pandemic, for gosh sakes. Know how much you have accomplished in your time with us. If you could understand us through our masks and survive us on Zoom, and let me remind you for just a few seconds here what our lives on Zoom were like. Oh wait, I'm sorry, you're on mute. Nope, sorry, you're still on mute. Still on mute. Okay, sorry, what am I hearing? What is that? Is someone talking? I don't know what that is. Okay, please, everyone mute yourselves. Oh wait, am I sharing my screen yet? Okay, how about now? What, can you see that? No, you're seeing my email? Oh shoot. Okay, let me try that again. If you got through all of that, you can be confident in what you bring and all you can do as you embark on your new careers. And finally, build on all the important lessons you've learned and embrace your critical role in shaping our communities and our society. We need you now more than ever. And I have no doubt that you will accomplish extraordinary things. And you will do so because you will expect and demand more just and fair systems in all aspects of our world, and most especially, you will fight for equal justice under law for all. And most of all, I hope you will come back and see us often. We will miss you, but more importantly, we need you. We need all of you to help us with the next generation of graduates who will follow you, just as those who came before you helped you. And let me again add my very biggest thanks to our incredible group of supporters, our 21 for 21 team, and especially the fabulous Kevin Tucker, that were featured on the video before our ceremony. In making today possible, they have again shown us how we come together and support one another the Pitt Law way. Please join me in giving them a special round of applause. And now, my friends, the moment you have waited for. Would the class of 2021 please rise? Please move your purple tassel from the right to the left. As Dean of the University of Pittsburgh School of Law, let me be the first one to offer my congratulations to all of you on your graduation. Okay, you did it. Please be seated. I now ask that everyone stay in your seats while the platform party recesses. Students, your sections will be released by your section leaders. Thank you again to all, and most especially our cherished guest for joining us today. We wish you well, and I hope you will take the rest of the day to celebrate. Thank you.